What is up, wrestling fans? This is Kayfabe Chronicles, and I am your host, JP. Well, it is Sunday night. It is 8 p.m. Central Time. It is time for our weekly live stream. This week, we discuss the NXT call-ups, a wedding in the WWE Universe, as well as the McMahons are back and taking over. What the hell does that even mean? I'm going to tell you right now. Hello, hello, hello. Happy holidays, happy Christmas Eve, and welcome to Kayfabe Chronicles. I am your host, JP. If this is your first time here, please stick around for a little while. Partake to the chat room on the left-hand side of the screen. And if you guys like what you see, make sure to crush like, hit subscribe, and click the bell notification for whenever we go live. We always go live every single Sunday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, except for pay-per-view nights, where we will always go on after the event to discuss the event. And as well, we always go live Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, right after NXT, to cover the NXT Weekly Review. And also, we post a bunch of other stuff, too, throughout the week. And if you guys haven't done so already, make sure, check out our Facebook page and that Twitter account. All right, lots to talk about this week. So let's just get that ball rolling. If you guys didn't see, this past Friday, that's right, 2 days ago, NXT superstar RAW, one half of the War Raiders, and his girlfriend, fiance, Sarah Logan, as part of the Riot Squad, tied the knot, finally got hitched. They've been together for quite some time now. They announced their engagement I think earlier this year, I believe, not 100% sure, but yeah, they had their wedding this Friday. It was a Viking theme, as you can tell. Both of them, if you follow them on social media, they're very, very into the Viking culture. They partake in a lot of Viking events. They both do leather crafting. They're both avid Viking fighters. Like they're trained in the weaponry. They do like a lot of Viking fairs. A lot of just live-action Viking role-playing, I guess, would be the best way to explain it. But yeah, pictures looked really cool. Some people that were in attendance, obviously, were the Riot Squad was there. Shayna Baszler was there. She's a longtime friend of Sarah Logan's. I'm guessing Hanson was most likely there, like with Rose tag team partner. But yeah, awesome stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot more of the pictures. A couple of the photos are on their social media accounts. But much love to you too, guys. All the best to you guys in your journey now as a married couple. Looking forward to seeing what goes on from there. All the best to you guys in many, many years to come. Big fan of both of theirs. Love the War Raiders. Think they're freaking awesome. And Sarah Logan's really growing on me. Ever since she actually switched to her Viking gimmick, not the crazy country girl anymore. I think the Viking gimmick's working a lot better for her. But if you guys really want to see her best work, look at her independent scene stuff when she was Crazy Mary Dobson. Absolutely amazing. Great character work. But yeah, Sarah's grown on me. But yeah, much love to these two. Wish them all the best in the future. Alright, if you guys missed my NXT review last week, I was talking about my views of the recent NXT call-ups. That's right, they announced on Monday Night Raw last week that Lars Sullivan, who we already know was going to be moving up, was coming up to the main roster, as well as EC3, Heavy Machinery, Nikki Cross, and Lacey Evans. I talked about it briefly in my NXT review last week. I'm super excited for them. You know, it's always great when people move up to the main roster. It's sad for me as a diehard NXT fan that I'm losing these guys. I love all 6 of them. I think Lars is absolutely great, considering he didn't really have a lot of wrestling experience prior to the Performance Center. EC3, been a fan of his since his original tenure on NXT, and of course his Impact days. Lacey, she's grown so much over the past little while. Heavy Machinery, you know what? I'm going to miss them. They are my favorite tag team for sure in NXT right now. It sucks that I'm going to be losing them, but they're moving up. And Nikki. I hope she doesn't get lost in the shovel. Hello, Robert. How are you doing? A Merry Christmas Eve to you, my brother. His character works really well, and I know he'll find a really good spot in the main roster. I'm just really hoping that they put something good for him. Because right now, it's the NXT curse. Whenever anyone from NXT gets moved up to the main roster, they always get lost in the shuffle. Very rare do some people actually achieve greatness. moving up to the main roster. But who knows? And EC3 has the look that Vince loves. He has the character that Vince loves. So here's hoping. He won't be in the main title picture, but you know what? I can see him in the mid card, like, slap the U.S. title on him, slap the IC title on him, stuff like that. Lars, he's going to be the big man on SmackDown for sure. I don't see him going to Raw because Raw is bronze territory, and to have them both on the same roster would make little to no sense. Heavy Machinery, you know what? I see them on Raw. I think they'll do better on Raw because the SmackDown tag team division is super stacked right now, and I think they would get lost. And Nikki, put her with Sanity on NXT, and Lacey, let's throw her on Raw so she can work with have her work with Sasha Banks and Mickey, Alexa, Nia, people like that, and I think she will do fine. But yes, sad that I'm losing them on my favorite show, but great for them for moving up, if you can call it that. Okay, let's jump on to the very next thing. So I did not do a review of TLC last week. Main reason, I was watching my son that night, so I missed a lot of the key moments. But one match I did watch entirely was the Seth Rollins-Dean Ambrose match, and I just want to address my concerns with the way the fans were treating this match. They were chanting, "This is boring," sucks, just giving this match a big load of crap, and that was completely unjustified in my opinion. Newsflash fans, not every match has to be flips and explosions and fast-paced and all this crazy stuff. Not every single match has to be in your face, non-stop action. Yes, there was a lot of rest holds, there was a lot of Irish whips, there was a lot of chain wrestling, a lot of mat wrestling, a lot of grappling. It was storytelling. Granted, it makes sense that since these two hate each other, it should have been a giant brawl. I get it. I get where you guys are coming from, that it should have been them just beating the living snot out of each other back and forth. I understand. But I feel that the way that they were telling the story was that they were so methodically trying to beat one another that they did what they were supposed to do. I believe that they told an excellent story, even though it was a very slow-paced match. I believe that they did what they were meant to do. I believe that they went out there and gave it their all. It looked great. The moves looked great. It was probably one of my favorite matches of the night, besides the TLC ladder match that ended the night. But I thought this was a really good match, and it just sucks that the audience didn't enjoy it. It sucks that the audience had to crap all over it. I knew that Dean Ambrose was going to win. It makes total sense for him to have the IC title because I see Seth jumping over to the main title picture, because without Roman Reigns in the picture right now, you kind of need that baby face to go for the belt. And Braun Strowman, as much as the crowd loves him, he's not a true baby face. I think just Seth in the main title picture makes a lot of sense. The crowd loves him. He puts on fantastic matches. So I ultimately see Seth possibly winning the Men's Royal Rumble to get that title shot. But whatever. I just wanted to talk about this because I just think that the fans really gave it an unfair thing for sure. It wasn't fair. It wasn't fair, and that's all I got to say about that. Okay. Got my Disney cup. Alright, so let's close the show off in regards to talking about what we actually set out here to talk about. So if you guys did not see on Monday Night Raw last week, Vince McMahon made his return. That's right, Vince McMahon made his phenomenal return, if you can call it that. To pretty much, the Raw ratings have been slipping a lot lately. The SmackDown ratings have been slipping. WWE ratings have been slipping, except for NXT and 205 Live, but I'm not going to discuss that. So pretty much all week everyone's like, oh, what's Vince going to do? What's Vince going to talk about? So McMahon came in, brought out Stephanie, brought out Shane, brought out Triple H, which was a nice little surprise. Didn't see that coming. To flat out say that come 2019, things are going to start changing. They're going to once again take control. There's going to be no more GMs for either. So, of course, Baron Corbin, who lost his GM position the night before at TLC, has been fired. Paige, sadly, has been released of her GM duties on SmackDown, which really doesn't make a lot of sense, because I thought she was doing phenomenal, but that's just me. But I just think it's really, really funny that, like Baron Corbin comes out, everyone's just booing him. They're like, boo, Baron, it's all your fault. It's all your fault that the show sucks. It's all your fault that the ratings are garbage. Oh, it's all Baron Corbin's fault. And then Vince McMahon comes out and everyone treats him like a savior, like a. You guys are aware that Vince is the one that actually writes the show. Like, Vince has the final say. Baron Corbin is a character. He has nothing to do with the ratings. So just, he was given a script to work with, and he did. Did he do it the best of his ability? I don't think so. But I just found it funny that just everyone, oh, it's all Baron Corbin's fault. Whatever, go kayfabe. But yeah, so like some other changes though that they've discussed. So as you guys always remember, the old rule of champions always get first title. Like former champions always get their automatic rematch clause. If they lose their title, they have the right to a rematch automatically. That is no longer happening. They announced that they are getting rid of the automatic rematch clause, which I think is freaking awesome because it's going to create some different matches. Like how many times, I can't even count the amount of times where, okay, pay-per-view, somebody beats somebody for a title. The very next pay-per-view, that person who lost is now facing that champion again. They fight. It's always the same two people because of this automatic rematch clause. It's like the government. Like in America, I'm not smashing on your guys' government, but it's a two-government system, Republicans and Democrats. Democrats take over. They stay in office until you don't like them, so then you vote the Republicans in, and so on and so on and so on. It's just a never-ending cycle. Same thing up here in Canada. We have a couple parties, but federally, it's a two-party system. We have the PCs and we have the Liberals. You vote in the Liberals until you don't like them anymore, then you vote in the PC, and so on and so on and so on. It's a never-ending revolving door of garbage, which is what this rematch clause is. So I'm very glad that they've gotten rid of the rematch clause. I think it's going to put in some interesting new matches. I think it's going to put in some interesting new flavor, and I am really looking forward to pretty much it. So some of the other stuff that they talked about, some of the other rumors that they have going about, like leading into Royal Rumble season, of course, is like, how, they're going to treat the Royal Rumble. Possibly the new titles coming in. Like I said, you have the 50-50 booking is trash. I fully agree, Robert. It just, and even like when it's not even for a championship, when it's like, like this week on Raw, this person beat this person. Next week they have their rubber match. Just, I hate repetitiveness of matches. How many times did we watch freaking Dolph Ziggler and Seth Rollins fight this year? I can't even count it. What kind of repetitive feuds are on Impact? I mean, I'm really behind on Impact right now, but I know you know the answer, Robert. It's just, you're right. No one ever gets over. It's the same thing over and over and over again. You have a roster of over 200 wrestlers. When you combine NXT, their other minor show, Raw, SmackDown, the Performance Center, 205 Live, the whole women's division. When you combine all this, you have hundreds of people to choose from, and yet it's the same two people every single freaking week. God, I'm glad they're getting rid of this. See, like, now I'm getting all venti. But yeah, going into Royal Rumble season, of course, my favorite time of the year. I love the Royal Rumble. Right now, it's not as predictable as it could be with the McMahons kind of throwing about all that stuff. Plus, Sami Zayn's coming back. Kevin Owens is coming back. A lot of these big name people who've been away with injuries are coming back. So this opens up just a huge plethora of people to finally get their faces on the like in the scene. Mustafa Ali, huge example right now. Great cruiserweight. Has done a little bit on 205 Live. Unfortunately, never won the Cruiserweight Championship, but had two phenomenal matches against Buddy Murphy this year. In fact, one of them is most likely going to be in my top 5 matches of the year, or at least an honorable mention, because that one was freaking dope. He's getting a huge push right now on SmackDown. He's beaten Daniel Bryan. Like, he beat him in a tag match, and he almost beat him the week before. So, like, great. New faces. I'm loving it. But, like I said, I'm getting off topic. What does that mean, though, for how the McMahons are going to be treating this? Like I said, it opens up huge potential for a bunch of new people to come in, not just recycling the same garbage over and over again. Are we going to get the women's tag team championships? Who knows? Are we going to get a women's mid-card title? Who knows? Are women going to get their own show? Who knows? Like, that's been a talk for a while now. I've been saying it since day one that I really think that all the women should have been just on one show, and all the tag teams should be on the other show, because having it split is a little tricky. Are they going to keep with the brand split? Who knows? Like I said, I am looking forward to the fact that the McMahons are going to be a little bit more involved now. It's not going to be all just individual storylines, like they're really going to be trying to push it. And look right there. Triple H is involved. Triple H is the driving force behind 205 Live, and he's the driving force behind NXT. And those are two top-rated shows. I never miss an episode of NXT, and when I do, I don't even know, because I've actually never missed one. I always watch NXT. And 205, like I said, if I miss an episode 205, you bet your butt that I'm on there that next day checking it out. Because he consistently puts out things. He lets the wrestlers be wrestlers. He doesn't let the storyline just overflow everything. Like, he lets them actually put on matches, and then the storylines come. It's not all just blah, 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 one match. It's, consistent stuff. Let's check out the chat room right now. Impact doesn't repeat matches a lot. They do bring local guys to do the jobs. By the way, I don't think that's a good idea either. Like, WWE is very notorious for local squash matches, and especially in the NXT shows, actually. Okay, there's one thing NXT does wrong. Yeah, I don't like squash matches. As a kid, yeah, I love squash matches. Like, big name guy versus generic man, be like the Berserker versus John Smith. Like, you knew the Berserker was going to win, but, like back then the squash matches kind of made sense because at least it put everybody on the card. Here, it's very hard to push a superstar as a believable threat if they're just taking out local talent every single week. But, what can I say? But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes in the new year. Really looking forward to Royal Rumble season. Really looking forward to WrestleMania season. Looking forward to new faces coming in. Looking forward to old injured faces coming back. But yeah, who knows what is going to happen. I just wanted to rant about it because, hey, that's what I do. I trail off and rant for at least 20 minutes. Alright, that is all from me for this week. Like I said before, if you guys like what you saw, make sure to crush that like button, hit subscribe, and click the bell notification for whenever we go live. We always go live Sunday night at 8 p.m. Central Time, except for pay-per-view nights, where we will always go on after the pay-per-view to discuss the pay-per-view. And like I said earlier, we also go on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Central Time, right after NXT, to discuss the previous episode of NXT. Alright, like I said, I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. You guys are the reason why I do this show. Yes, my views aren't that high, but at least I know some people like to come back every single week. And it's very good to see you, Robert. I haven't talked to you in a little bit. We need to get something going. We need to get a little bit of a collab fun going on there. Once holiday season dies down, I think we'll have a little bit more free time. Alright, as always though, I'm wishing you all a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, a blessed New Year, and all that wonderful stuff. I will not be doing an NXT review this week at my normal time. Like I said last week at the NXT review, this NXT Wednesday is December 26th, which here in Canada counts as Boxing Day. Boxing Day is just kind of a toned-down version of Black Friday in the States. So since I work in retail, I'm going to be doing an entire day shift that day. It's crazy, it's madness, so I will not be on at 8 p.m. Central Time, but as soon as I get home, I will be checking out NXT, and I will be doing my review later on in the night. Alright, once again, guys, see, I always trail off, but yes, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that great stuff. Love you all from the bottom of my heart. Have a great New Year, and this is JP from Kayfabe Chronicles, and I'll see you guys next time.